remember my mother reading Silent Spring, the book by Rachel Carson, to me and my sister at dinner time when I was young, and it's the only time I remember her reading a book to us at dinner, but it really had a big impact on me. I had earlier been taught lessons on our family farm by my father about soil erosion and how to stop a gully from getting started and where the best soil was and how to take care of the land. But Silent Spring took it up a notch and focused my attention on ways to try to understand the impacts that we human beings are having on our environment and on the planet. But really my awakening to the planetary danger posed by the climate crisis came in a college course back in the 1960s, taught by the legendary scientist Roger Revelle. I didn't even know who he was when I walked into that first class meeting, but he had a huge impact on me, and I kept in touch with him. And years later, 7 years after I graduated from college, I was in the Congress. I had the first hearing on the climate crisis in the House of Representatives back in 1981, and I asked my professor, Dr. Revelle, to be the lead-off witness, and I naively hoped that when he spoke, those other members of Congress on the dais with me would have the same epiphany that I'd had in a full college course. But unfortunately, a 20-minute statement in a congressional committee doesn't always have that kind of impact. And that's really the first time I started thinking, how can this message be communicated more effectively? It was one of the lessons of my years as a young member of Congress, which continues to shape my perspective today on how we can drive action on this issue. And to put it simply, although change can sometimes come from the top, most often the biggest changes start at the grassroots level when people generally understand something and demand that there be action to solve the crisis that we're facing. Political leaders will pay attention if the calls to action are loud and persistent. And I saw that play out in some of the United States' most important and impactful social justice movements when I was growing up. People like John Lewis, with whom I eventually had the privilege of serving in the Congress and who became a close friend. He and Diane Nash and others in the Nashville lunch counter sit-in movement were a real inspiration to me when I was young. And we've seen the results of this grassroots momentum this year with historic climate laws passed here in the U.S. and in Australia, and we see people implementing solutions all around the globe. So if you ever doubt our ability to generate the political will to solve the climate crisis, always remember political will is itself a renewable resource. And indeed, we are the solution. Thank you.